Hi guys, it's Rebecca from the B&O Railroad Museum. I hope you're ready for another adventure because I have a great book for you today. We're going to take a look at The Magic School Bus Gets a Bright Idea. Amazing, awesome! That's what the kids in my class were saying about the terrific light show. The theater was filled with kids from all schools in town. Even Arnold's cousin Janet was there, but she was in a bad mood. "This show is boring," Janet said. "A yawn burger with a side of snores. We should have gone to a magic show instead." In the lobby after the show, Janet said, "What a snooze. I could do better than that. I could do something magic with light." Then she looked scared and a little sneaky. "But I can't right now because of the ghosts in the theater." Keisha laughed. "Good one, Janet, but there were no ghosts." "Now you've done it," Janet said. "You've made the ghosts really angry. If anything bad happens to us, it's your fault." Just then, the lights went out. Even though we all knew ghosts weren't real, we ran as fast as we could out of the theater. Lucky for us, our teacher, Miss Frizzle, was coming around the corner in a stretch limo. The limo looked a lot like our school bus, but why would that surprise you? Miss Frizzle stepped out of the limo. The Frizz wears some pretty amazing outfits, but this one was really dazzling. When she asked if everyone was here and ready to go, we looked around. Janet and Arnold were missing. We all went back in the theater to look for Janet and Arnold, but it was dark and spooky in the theater lobby. "Light needs a source, of course," Miss Frizzle explained. "It has to come from somewhere." Then she turned on her earrings. That's why we're really glad that we have Miss Frizzle for a teacher. Not every teacher has earrings that light up. We followed Miss Frizzle's earrings into the main part of the theater. "Your earrings are great," Keisha said to Miss Frizzle, "but we need more light to find Arnold and Janet. This theater is humongous." This is when things really started getting weird. We were just standing on the stage. Everything was dark. And then, just for a second, we saw a huge ghostly image of Arnold. We could see right through him, and just then, he disappeared. Arnold looked so spooky, but Keisha was certain that it was just Janet playing a trick on us. "We'll never find Arnold and Janet unless we get some light in here," Keisha said. "Can't you do something, Miss Frizzle?" "At your service, Keisha," said the Frizz. "Hit it, Liz." All of a sudden, the stage floor started to rise. As we went up on a platform, the bus rose out of a giant trapdoor. Not only did our bus have a giant light bulb on top, it also had some kind of huge funnel sticking out of it. "Time to shed some light on this ghost story," the Frizz said, pointing to the funnel. "Do you, by any chance, want us to go in there?" Keisha asked. "Well, if you want to brighten up the night, you have to be a light," Miss Frizzle answered. Keisha jumped into the funnel and turned into light. She came shooting out the bus bulb straight towards the Frizz. When Miss Frizzle caught her, Keisha was Keisha again. "Can we be light too?" asked Wanda. "Dazzle me," called Miss Frizzle from down below. "I'll take that as a yes," said Wanda. Everyone jumped into the light funnel. Even though we all started at the same source, we shot straight out in different directions and ended up all over the place. As soon as we landed somewhere, we turned back into ourselves. Carlos sped across the theater and grabbed onto a rope attached to a pulley. His weight pulled down on the rope, and the rope pulled up a backdrop with a cemetery scene painted on it. Then Ralphie smacked right into the backdrop. "I get it," Keisha cried. "Light travels in straight lines away from its source until it runs into something." D.A. and Tim had landed on the side of the stage. D.A. found a flashlight, but when she turned it on, they got a big scare. The spooky hand Tim saw on the wall turned out to only be the shadow of a cardboard tree. Because light travels in straight lines and can't go around things, the light from any flashlight hits the tree but never makes it to the wall, D.A. said. That is how a shadow is made. Meanwhile, we were still trying to figure out how to find Arnold and Janet. We need to find a way to aim the light so we can see what's going on up there, Keisha said, pointing a finger to the dark corner. How about this, Miss Frizzle said. She brought out a large mirror and turned it at an angle. Show them how it's done, Liz, she called. Liz jumped to the footlight and then streaked up towards the mirror. She hit the mirror, bounced off, and zipped right up to the dark corner. For an instant, the corner was lit up. Then Liz hit the wall and turned back into herself. That's great, Carlos said, but the light from the bus bulb is going out in all directions. How do we get it to go just to that corner? We need something like this, Keisha said, holding up an odd-looking light. This will shine the light in one direction. That is an old-fashioned footlight, Miss Frizzle explained. It was used to light the floor of the stage before there were electric lights. And I think there should be something like that on the bus. Only bigger, of course. We ran over to the bus bulb. I think I can see a footlight attachment, Carlos said. He pulled on it and the footlight popped right up. The giant footlight caused the light to shine in one direction instead of spreading all around the bulb. We aimed the bus bulb upward and we could see where Arnold's ghost had been. But there it was again, bigger and brighter than ever. But Ralphie had an interesting question. Aren't ghosts supposed to disappear when you shine a light on them? How come this ghost just gets clearer? That's what happens to real things when you shine lights on them, Keisha said. That really made us think. Maybe this wasn't a real ghost. Next thing we knew, Keisha was climbing back into the light funnel. She shot all the way backstage and smashed smack into Arnold's ghost, except it wasn't a ghost at all. It was a pane of glass hanging from 2 wires, and Keisha bounced right off. After Keisha bounced off the glass, she grabbed a rope that was hanging from the ceiling. When she looked around, she saw how Janet had made Arnold's ghost. Keisha and the rest of us figured out how Janet's trick worked. Janet shines a light on Arnold. The light bounces off him, then bounces again off the piece of glass, and then down to where we are. And because Janet uses glass instead of a mirror, we can see Arnold's reflection and what's behind him. That's why we could see through him, kind of like a ghost. A few minutes later, Keisha came running up on stage yelling, "Ghost!" We didn't know what was going on. When she got close to us, she whispered, "Pretend to be scared. I'm playing a trick on Janet." "We've got to get out of here fast," Keisha yelled. We knew it was part of the act, but we all started playing along. We headed for the street. Meanwhile, backstage in the theater, Janet was talking to Arnold. Arnold still hadn't figured out that Janet was playing a trick on everyone. "The coast is clear," Janet told Arnold. "It's safe to go." Just then, the bus bulb light went out. Carlos sneaked back into the theater and put his hand over Arnold's mouth and pulled him away, leaving Janet alone in the dark. Janet looked up and saw a scary ghost floating near the balcony. The ghost was really Keisha's image bouncing off the glass. Now Janet was getting a taste of her own trick. Janet was really scared. She ran out of the theater as if she had seen the ghost. Out on the street, Janet saw Keisha's ghost outfit. "You tricked me," she yelled. "You tricked us first, Janet, so we tricked you back," Keisha said. "But thank you. We figured out how light really works." "Does this mean you think I'm brighter than any of you?" asked Janet. "Let's put it this way," Miss Frizzle said. "With you around, there's never a dull moment." Man, that was a great story. I hope you guys learned something and had fun too. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.